feminist standpoint theory relates to Kara because one of the fundamental tenets of this theory is that knowledge is situated. Kara is a marginalized individual. She's a woman and she's also a member of a Native American tribe. So the intersection of her identities influences what she knows and what she experiences and how she understands those experiences. So because dominant groups' views are accepted as reality, whereas those, such as Kara's, are dismissed, in working with her, it's critical to be cognizant of this theory and emphasize that she's the expert of her own experience, and that by exploring her experiences, affirming her perspectives and experiences, we're making our time together political. And through making our time political, we're giving power to her perspective. We cease to suppress her viewpoints, and we can begin to work collaboratively to foster an independent consciousness. In relational cultural theory, it applies to Kara because Kara and her boyfriend are in conflict. She values spending time with her family and participating in cultural events and with her Native American community. Her white boyfriend, however, wants her to cut back on those commitments and instead work more. So if she were to do what her boyfriend desired, this would increase the power differential between the two and disconnect Kara from not only her culture, but her social support network. And as noted within a relational cultural theory, when individuals are unable to create change in their relationships or be their true selves, they begin to hide or give up parts of themselves to maintain that relationship. By doing so, this behavior hinders relationships that are growth fostering, and in Kara's case, this is her relationship with her families and her culture, and instead perpetuates unequal power dynamics that are present within dysfunctional relationships. In this example, Kara's relationship with her boyfriend.
Okay, Kara, well, thank you for sharing all that. I'm really glad you're here. So let's just get started. So you talked about your boyfriend and his behavior. Can you go in a little more about how his behavior affects you?
So he mainly just is really mean to me all the time. Like with his words, he just makes me feel really insecure and just not good about myself. He's just really hard on me and kind of aggressive, like with his words.
And you mentioned earlier that he often has these violent outbreaks or outbursts towards others. Who are the others that he has had these towards? Can you specify?
I know he's had some violence in the past with his mother and his sister.
So he's been verbally abusive, you said, to you and to his mom and to his sister. Have you ever noticed a pattern as to who these outbursts are targeted towards?
Well, it's mainly to people he's close with, I guess. And we're all,
And the events leading up to these outbursts, is there another pattern you've ever noticed about like what sets him off, what triggers him?
I know from our relationship, I think what might trigger him is the amount of time I spend with my family really bothers him. He thinks that I should spend less time with him so that I can work more. And he's also really frustrated that I don't make more money. He thinks that I should be contributing more.
And you've mentioned work before, initially when you were talking to me about what's going on in your life. And you mentioned that you had tried to get a raise and a promotion to no avail. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I've been at my job for 5 years, and I don't really understand why I'm not getting a raise because I'm good at my job. I know what to do, and me and my coworkers, like, we ask for raises, and all we see is these guys getting raises.
So to clarify, you and your female coworkers have asked for raises, and the males are getting them.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever asked your boss or the higher ups why the males are getting raises and promotions and you aren't?
So I've heard my boss talk about or just say things in the past like me and my friends, we can't make as good of decisions as the guy for, and we don't make decisions as quickly. So I thought maybe it was because of that.
So have you ever heard the term internalized depression? Sometimes when we're like told something so much like, oh, you're too emotional to make these decisions, we start to believe them. Do you think you're too emotional to make these decisions?
No, like I've been doing this job for 5 years. Like I've been making these decisions, and he just doesn't acknowledge it, I guess.
Well, in our work together, what we can do is role play and come up with some strategies for you to approach your boss and show them you do deserve a promotion, you do deserve a raise. And we can also come up with some strategies for how to help communicate with your boyfriend. So I'm going to give you a little bit of homework for next week. I want you to research socialist feminism theory. And this theory basically is that women are oppressed not only by capitalism, but also by the patriarchy. And it seems like you kind of have a bit of both because you have issues with work and with your boyfriend. So I want you to Google it, read a book if you can find it about socialist feminism theory. And I'll see you next week.
In working with Kara, there are several strategies that we can utilize to affect change within her life. All of these changes can be found within our feminist toolbox. So with Kara, we can employ education. So what are anti-discrimination laws within her state and her city? What are anti-discrimination policies at her job? What are different ways that Kara can develop soft skills that will benefit her professionally, whether within the scope and business that she's in now or in a different business or profession should she choose to change. Additionally, we could utilize consciousness raising. So what are feminist theories that are applicable to Kara's existence and what she's experiencing? What has been done in previous situations to affect change? Additionally, we could raise her consciousness through referrals to agencies like women's service centers, employee assistance programs, and even to public assistance programs that she may be eligible to, which could assist her financially. We could also work towards developing critical consciousness. So building on Kara's knowledge of how her perspective is different from the majority perspective, while also focusing on the validity of her own perspective in relation to the difference between hers and main social groups. Additionally, we could work towards building support groups amongst her female employees at her job, and through that support group, possibly facilitating intergroup dialogue between the female employees, male employees, or management at her job. To evaluate the strategies that we utilize from our feminist toolbox, we could do two different things. So first, we could evaluate tangible changes in her environment. So did she get a promotion? Did she get a raise? Is she still attending cultural and family events? Is she still with her boyfriend? So we can assess the strategies and the effectiveness and adjust them accordingly based upon these changes within her environment or the maintenance of certain behaviors. Additionally, we could utilize self-reported changes in her perceptions, emotions, and thoughts on the matter. So, we could evaluate our progress based off of Kara's perception of how she's being treated at work, how she's being treated by her boyfriend, how heard she's feeling, how validated she's feeling. We can utilize both perspectives to evaluate our change strategies and change them accordingly.